Good day and happy Valentine's Day to everybody. How are you all doing? This is President Chad, and you are tuned into the United Hour preview show. We have Manchester United is playing some football tomorrow. Please God, we're taking on Brighton, so we're going to be discussing a lot around that game and around the fact that today is Valentine's Day. So we like to keep it fun, we like to keep it real, we like to keep it interactive on the United Hour. So we're going to be doing a little bit of that today. Who do I have inside with me as guest today? We have the man Valentino Singh down there at the fan club in Trin City Mall. We have Phil, Big Phil, the Bajan out there in Canada. And we got the man CJ in Central Trinidad. How are you gentlemen doing?
Good, good.
Yeah, doing well, man. Doing well.
I'm top of the line.
Phil, you need to raise your voice a little bit. You're not sounding as crisp, but you're sounding crisp just now. So, I want to start off the program by talking a little bit about the manager's press conference that was held earlier today, and then we're going to get into a little segment, and then we're going to talk some more about our expectations for the game tomorrow, predictions, predicted lineups, and then we're going to have a little Valentine's talk, a little camaraderie amongst the group. So during the press conference today, oh yes, we also have a paper talk segment where we're going to be discussing some of the articles making the wrongs in the papers. So during the press conference, Ralph was saying that Fred and Telles has joined the team and that both of them should be available for tomorrow's game. Cavani, however, is still out. The last press conference, Ralph said Cavani just had a muscle issue, right? And it was decided that he wasn't going to be available. I'm a little concerned about the fact that a couple days have passed. I'm sure they would have been giving Cavani treatment, and he's still not available. Right? That is really concerning, especially with the fact that it's nice. We need all the options that we can have up top, but no Cavani for tomorrow's game. But Fred and Tellers are going to be available. Ralph also stressed that 11 out of the 13 games that he was in charge for Manchester United led all of those games 1-0. And only half of those games did we go on to win. And that is really disturbing. That 11 out of 13 games, 90% of the games Ralph has been in charge, we have taken the lead. And half of those games, we did not go on to win the game. And that speaks to real issues. Ralph also said that we need to be consistent, and as far as the team goes, for the whole game for 90 minutes. And oh yes, that we gave up, that the goals we conceded, we gave them up too easy. So I mean, I don't think, guys, anybody would have any question marks about that. The managers find that we conceded very easily and was very disappointed in how we conceded those goals. Any comments on anything out of the press conference from anybody?
I don't think anybody would have any objections. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yeah, you go right ahead.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would have any quarrels with what the manager has said about the team and what has happened in the few games that he has taken the responsibility for. I think what we need to find out is how are we addressing that? How does the manager propose to address those concerns, which I'm sure every fan and every supporter of Manchester United now must have serious concerns about. We've given up goals easily, as anybody could see. And of course, we're scoring goals, good goals, within the first half of most of the games that we've done well in. What is happening in the second part of the game? Is it that we are not concentrating long enough? Does it have anything to do with our fitness level, mentally? Does it have anything to do with the psychology of what is happening at Old Trafford at the moment? These are some of the considerations that the manager needs to address. Maybe not come out and talk about it, but certainly to address.
For sure, for sure. We're gonna get into some paper talk after this next segment, and that just those. I mean, now the thing with paper talk is that is articles, what's in the news, and as we know, sometimes we have journalists that is just make up news, right? But
Yep.
I would be very
Be very
considerate.
careful what you're saying about journalists, please.
We have a former journalist in the midst. Well, there are good ones
You
and there
don't
are
ever
bad
be a
ones.
former you don't ever be a former doctor. Why would I be a former journalist?
Correct, correct. I hear you. I hear you, brother. Yeah, I'm a journalist in the midst. So,
Correct.
yeah,
Maybe
so but there are
retired,
good
but
ones and there are bad
not
ones.
former. Yeah.
So but we're gonna. It's very interesting what is being reported in news circles. But before we head into that, let's head into this. Valentino Singh, you are down there at the fan club store right now in the offices of the fan club. What kind of items can guys send their significant others to get, or get for themselves, or get for their girlfriends who are interested in football? Because we know you have a lot of ladies out there that into sports these days.
Well, the good thing about Valentine's Day is that Manchester United is red, and Valentines seem to suggest that things red are what people are looking for on this very, very special day. We have the bathrobes that came in last week in a number of different teams, not just Manchester United. You have it in Chelsea, you have it in Liverpool, you have it in Arsenal, you have it in Barcelona. Those bathrobes have been going very well. People are coming in and looking to ensure that particularly the ladies, they're looking for that to ensure that their boyfriends have that. So when they get into the bedroom, he will be well represented, and they will also be well represented in the bathrobes. We also have some lounge suits, which is really something like a pajamas, a top and pants that almost looks like a track pants, but it really is a pajama pants. That is in Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, and also Liverpool. We don't have it in Manchester United. And of course, the boot bags, which were not available for a while, are back. This is these boot bags. Lots of people have been asking about them. They came back in last week. So those of you who are interested in coming along and getting a boot bag, you have. And of course, we know you have to be ready all the time in this very difficult COVID season. So we have the face mask, and we just got this back in. It's a heat change mug. It starts off with being a black item, and as you put your coffee and tea and stuff like that into the glass, the logo comes up on the cup. So those are some of the new things. And if you're just feeling to put something on the table, this guy tells you, come on, get him. He's from Old Trafford. So those are some of the new things that came in last week, and
Right.
they are in a number of different teams, not just Manchester United, for the people who are not just Manchester United fans.
I like that. No, man. I know I'm looking real good. I will
Yeah,
fit
and
perfectly.
we have another gnome in which the guy is sliding tackle. So that's another gnome. So we have two gnomes that are available to those of you who are
Yeah, well,
Manchester, Chelsea,
have a little
Liverpool, different teams.
what it is called? It's not sports room, man cave.
The man
Have
cave.
a
That's
little man
exactly what
cave.
they're
You could
for. Yep.
definitely put that in. Um, all right, cool. That's those are definitely some stuff that we'd be interested in. So, guys, the ladies as always say, They don't know what to get guys for Valentine. Don't let them get away. Don't let them get away. Tell them go to the fan club. This is my team. Get me something. Anything. But don't come and tell me, no, I don't know what to get here, and you're allergic to chocolate, and I know you ain't want no flowers. We don't want to hear that old talk in 2022. We're not dealing with them thing anymore. If you are to
Fuck.
get a gift, we are to get a gift too. Yeah? So
Correct.
let me just show people, some of the robes and some of the other items that you didn't show, and then we're gonna jump straight into the people talk, because I think what is being reported about Ralph is really significant. So let's do this. Yes, indeed. So the people get an idea what the robes look like. So on the paper talk, there are two main articles making the wrongs today. And the main article one is that Ralph and the board have decided on who the next manager of Manchester United is going to be, and that is Ten Hag. Right, that is being reported by some English outlets. Um, I know most people here would approve of that appointment of Ten Hag. My thing is, we don't know what is going to come in the future. You know what I mean? For all we know, Pochettino may go out and win the Champions League. And then Manchester United might decide, yeah, boy, this man win the Champions League, let's bring him in. As well as PSG might decide, now, well, we don't really leave at the end of the season, stay. As well as he may get kicked out in the next round, and PSG might say, yeah, well, fire him before the end of the season. Ten Hag might win the Champions League. Or, we just don't know what the future holds. So when you see articles like that, I take it with a pinch of salt. We already know that there's a short list, and Ten Hag and Pochettino is on the short list. So at this point, until the end of the season comes, until something really, significant comes out on that front, we'll just take those articles with a pinch of salt. The other article is from a Spanish outlet called AS. Now, AS is usually very good in their reporting around things associated with Real Madrid, right? And in that particular outlet, they are saying that there's a rift that has developed between Cristiano Ronaldo and Ralph Ragnick, with Cristiano Ronaldo leading a clique saying that, Ralph doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, Ralph doesn't know what he's doing, and that Ralph is not equipped. He's not capable of leading Manchester United. The article from AS also goes on to say that that Ralph complained, I assume, in the dressing room about Cristiano lack of finishing, and that it made the situation worse in terms of making Cristiano Ronaldo more upset. That he was being criticized, or his lack of finishing was being criticized. So I want to bring you guys in on this point at this stage. When you hear, I personally, I'm not surprised that there's a rift between Ralph and Cristiano Ronaldo. And if that is true, and the reason why I say I'm not surprised is because Ralph is interested in winning. And I'm not saying Cristiano is not, but you have an underperforming striker, and the manager is under pressure to play. Two are the most poorly performing players at the club right now. The manager is under pressure to play. He's under pressure to play Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Because he's the megastar that has been brought in. He's the guy getting the most money every week. And apart from that, he's also under pressure to play Harry Maguire, because he's your captain and he is the most expensive transfer defender in club history.
He's
And
not
I
my
think
captain. He's not my captain. Sorry.
well, he's the club captain. And even if it is just to keep up his resale value, there is a need to play him. So the manager is under pressure to play the two players that are most underperforming at the present point in time, right? So what do you, when you hear that news, CG, how do you, you know, do you think that there's a rift between Ralph and Cristiano, and you know, what are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I don't want to take it for 100%. Be like, yeah, of course there's a riff. Of course you would see it, but if it is indeed true, I'm not surprised. I mean, let me look at it like this: Ralph has come in and decided that nobody is really special. I need performance. He dropped Luke Shaw. Wan-Bissaka has yet to come back on into the team, and he plays anybody who's willing to push. Let's be very honest. Ronaldo hasn't been that good right now for a good while. He's in a drought, and yes, people would be like, "Well, he should play out that drought." But at some point, you want to win. You're under pressure. Why don't I use my other options, which could inspire him to catch his goal scoring form? Because you never know. So if that's the case, of course, because if look at the example of when Ronaldo asked, "Why did you take him off in the game?" It shows you that there is some kind of expectation from Ronaldo and from a lot of players that they're supposed to get minutes. But at the same time, we can't be rewarding you all with bad performances. So if there is indeed a rift, Ralph is in the right, because at some point we have a culture that it doesn't give players with the best performances or the best runs the benefits. I mean, let's look at it like this. I like Scott McTominay, I like Fred, but there are times that the only reason they're playing games constantly because we don't have a DM. If we had a DM, they wouldn't be playing. But that's like we get a DM in the summer and the DM playing real good, and then they start to play and they're not playing good, they get less chances and they complain and that. No, there is a system of reward that we need to have at the club that gives a discipline, that gives a motivation. And to be honest, if the riff is there, that is mostly for Ralph to be on the good side of. Ronaldo has to understand that he's a professional. He's 37. He can't run how he used to run, and that's okay. Nobody's asking you to do that. I mean, his team, as Alex Ferguson said, nobody's bigger than the team. Nobody. So
And what say you, Valentino? What are your thoughts when you hear about Ronaldo having problems with the manager and the manager's techniques,
Well,
tactics?
one of the most profound things I saw coming out of all the paper talk and whatnot over the past couple of days was a statement from our goalkeeper, who seemed to think that somebody put a blight on the Manchester United team.
A curse, yeah.
You know, because when you reflect on the quality of the team, the players on the Manchester United team, and you look at the history of the club since the exit of Sir Alex Ferguson, you begin to wonder what the hell is really going on with Manchester United. How many coaches have we changed? Every time we seem to go into a little rut, everything is pointed at the manager. So my question today is, what is happening with our players? Where do you draw the line between the responsibility of the player as opposed to the manager? We've fired how many managers? Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, and of course, the most recent. And we've had another one who is under fire from the players themselves. What is happening? You will never be able to perform as a team if the manager is not in control of your dressing room. We all know that. We play sport. We were players. We had people to whom we were responsible. That includes the manager, the club, the supporters, whoever supported us. It seems to me that the responsibilities of our players is being lost in all of the bacchanal that is happening at Manchester United over the years. We're hearing about fracture between the current manager and Ronaldo. We've heard about problems with Pogba and Mourinho. You could go back and back. Everything seems to be falling on the shoulders of the manager to get results and not the players. And I think that the time has come when that has to be reviewed. You have to look at what is happening actually on the field of play, and the players must be held accountable for the nonsense that happens on the field of play. You're going to blame the manager for the goal that scored on against Southampton. You're going to blame the manager for what happened against Middlesbrough. You're going to blame the manager for what happened in the game against Burnley. Where do we draw the line in terms of the responsibility that lies for the thousands of dollars that you're paying those guys who go on the field? You don't pick them after they play nonsense, they vex. Somebody has to take charge of those players. Either the players are running the club or running the team, or the manager is responsible for the team. In that case, he needs the full support of the club. That's how I see it.
And I totally agree. And I hope that we could only hope that he's getting that support and that the players don't have the authority. Phil, you want to say anything about that before we jump into the preview?
I mean, with regards to the rift between Ronaldo and Ralph, it's not healthy for the club. One is a guy who's trying to steer the ship and do a better job over there. The other guy is a club legend, right? But as CJ said, the guy isn't 23, 24 years old anymore, right? You're 37 years old. Your mindset maybe of a 23, 24-year-old, you're very hungry to win and you're still kind of thinking about yourself. But at this age right now, you got to think, you got to put yourself second. You got to put the team first, right? And when you put the team first, that's when the team will perform. And I hope Ronaldo doesn't realize that a bit too late.
All right. So, guys, now we're gonna be mixing it up. We're gonna be talking football, and then we're gonna jump into some Valentines segments, right? But right now, I wanna talk a little bit about Brighton. So, Brighton's performances has been a mixed bag. In their last performance, they beat Watford 2-0. But before that, they have conceded in their last 4 games, right? Against Spurs, they lost 3-1. Against Leicester was a 1-1 draw. Against Chelsea, a 1-1 draw. Against Crystal Palace, a 1-1 draw. And the game before that, they played in the FA Cup. They beat West Brom 2-1. Now, the fact that they've been conceding goals, except for their last game, is good. But the fact that they had so much 1-1 draws kind of scary for me or for us because of our set of results recently, right? The fact that they seem to be able to score at least 1 goal in all of their last games is worrying. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Now we all know Manchester United's last 3 games, 3-1 draws. So we know we're up against it as far as Brighton goes. Brighton plays with a lot of energy. These guys work hard and they play like a team that knows they are not more talented than their opposition. So they play with a lot of aggression. They have Basuma in the middle and men like Tosha, men that just don't stop running. Right? Mope has been having a great season. He's not been hitting the heights that he hit last season, the Brighton striker, but Brighton is still going to come at you aggressively and is having a fairly good season by their standards. They in the middle of the park and doing well by their standards. So Manchester United, and we have had problems with Brighton in the last 2 seasons ourselves. This is a team that has caused Manchester United problems. So we need to score more goals tomorrow. Please God for sure. I want to move a little bit into a little Valentine's segment. And I want to ask you all this question, all the members of the panel this question, and the people in the comments. And the question is this: what can you say on a football field that you can say in the bedroom and it still be acceptable? So what can you say on both the football field and in the bedroom. So I will go first. And I will say this. With the people who knows what I mean touchdown, but in football terms, I scored. I think you could say that in the bedroom and on the football field. I was a good score. Hopefully the young lady would understand what that means. So who wants to go next? Come on, guys. Be creative. What could you say on a football field that you could say in the bedroom? Big Phil?
Can we switch positions?
How you mean?
Can we switch positions?
What do you mean switch positions? You mean somebody else go instead of you?
No, like on the field.
Sorry, I was a little slow.
Nah, man, Chad. Come now, Chad.
That's a good one. Can we switch positions?
You don't see Marcus Rashford wanting on the left, Jadon Sancho on the right, and then they swap positions from right wing to left wing and vice versa.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely something you could see on the football field, and that you could see, and that you could see in the bedroom. Can't understand when I wake up for sure, bro. So who wants to go next, guys? Come on, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it interesting.
This I could sub.
I could be a bit bad minded and say, this is what you can say in the bedroom and on the football field as well. Why is John Terry here?
Well, you can say that about a lot of people.
There's a good one. There's a good one. I could sub you.
I could sub you. Wow.
That's a good one to get slapped.
Looking for real trouble there, but
You understand? It could work, but that's a good one to get slapped. So, Robert, what say you? What you could see on the football field and in the bedroom?
I guess if we were having a threesome, Neymar would say, "Hey, this my mom right here."
Brother, hey, somebody get a red card. Hey, no. That's how
No.
That's a violation.
No, but the truth.
It's
the truth.
Only the provocateur would say something like that.
But it is the truth. Neymar had a funny thing with his mom.
His mom or his sister?
No, the thing
Both.
is, if it said pickup lines, I would have said, girl, although I was back United, I am like Arsenal. I don't finish first.
Valentino, you have any?
boy, I did catch me off guard with that. Yes.
Well, let me just throw a couple more out there. We have the Ronaldo celebration. You know what I mean? You could always just let out a good "Sue," you know what I mean, in the bedroom. And then we have, we need a water break. Sometimes it is just need a break to go and get some water, take a drink, refresh. Yeah. So.
Or I have one.
Right. So all of us could laugh too.
You better make sure we can laugh too.
Yeah, no. Well, okay.
It's always I want Robert to type it in the private chat. I see what it is.
Yeah, before man get everybody cancelled. Hey, let's type it. Please.
Oh, you can just say, tonight, baby, we doing it like Greenwood.
Am I ready to run? Yes. Am I ready to go? Carlton is saying speed it up. Speed it up. Yes, indeed. You could definitely say that.
One can also say I'm not This I'm not a guy would say. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of seeing red.
Not a big fan of seeing red. I hear that. I hear that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the game tomorrow, guys. So
True.
we know that Tellez is available. We know Fred is available. We know Cavani is still unavailable. So we're going to talk a little bit about
Eric Bay is available as well too.
Eric Bailly, right, is also available. So let's talk about lineups. So I'm going to put my lineup. I'm verbally not going to put it up on the screen. I'm verbally going to put up my lineup. And then, we'll go around and anybody who wants to make changes or adjustments would make it. So obviously the hair in goal, we will have Delo keeping his position, Varane keeping his position. I think it's time for this. I have to call it an experiment because for the first time in a while, Maguire was available and Ralph wasn't picking him. And I'm starting to wonder if Maguire sent those people by Lindelof's house to cause some problems because, that's why Lindelof was out of the team. And I think this Harry experiment is time for it to end. So I would like to see Lindelof start next to Varane tomorrow. Please go on. I think Shaw has been doing well. I mean, I know there are a lot of people that are critical of Shaw, but Shaw makes runs that Tellez doesn't make. So for me, I would start Shaw this week and I would start Tellez next week because I want Shaw to play in the Champions League game. So I'm going to start Shaw this week. I think we can play the same midfield. I mean, Scott didn't have that great of a game, but I have question marks on whether Fred would be able necessarily to do a better job by himself. Fred looks really good when he plays next to somebody. Like when he shares the role with somebody, Fred looks good. By himself, I mean, Brazil haven't played Fred by himself in that position. They always have Casemiro there next to him or something like that. So until I see it, I think I would want to stick with Scott, Bruno, Pogba. I think it's time that we do something up front, something different, something energetic. So I would like to see Langa, Rashford, and Sancho. So that's my starting 11. Who wants to weigh in on any changes they would make to that starting 11?
For me, I really don't. I would agree with the whole Ronaldo thing because we need runners from the jump. I mean, when Brighton get tired, and if they get tired, because they seemingly don't get tired. If they get tired, you could play Ronaldo. But for me, I find that change in personnel in the front would be nice. I mean, if you look at Jadon Sancho, he is a mainstay right now because he's having the form. And personally, how he's taking on these defenders, I feel he will cause problems coming if Brighton do show up. I feel Brighton's defense, although yes, is that strong. Once you have somebody who's creative and full of energy like Jadon Sancho and could create plus provide, I think that's going to be a problem for them. Marcus Rashford has been a pest in Brighton when he's ready, but with his current form, I hope he steps it up because he had a good confidence in terms of getting an assist for Sancho. So I hope he uses that and goes. And Ilanga would be the perfect in that Ilanga likes to run back. So in case we lose the ball in a counter attack, you have that extra guy who will go forward and go back for you. So for me, the Ilanga makes sense. For me, I would like Shaw to do that because we really do need some defensive minds in in that game. And no disrespect to Tellers because Tellers wouldn't do bad, but we still need an extra defensive front so Brighton wouldn't have that goal. So yeah, I agree with the lineup.
Carlton is saying Ronaldo leads the EPL in offsides with 20. I personally believe that simply because Ronaldo tries to cheat more because he doesn't have the legs to get on the end of the ball the way that he would have in the past. But that's just my opinion. But that's not the kind of thing we need him leading in the EPL in, right?
Yep.
I'm sure he also leads in chances because right now Ronaldo's conversion rate the last 5 games has been very poor. A lot of chances, no goals.
What's funny to me is that people are saying that they're not giving Ronaldo enough good chances to score, but I be asking them, what game you watching? What game you
Correct.
watching? You had an open goal. You had an open goal last week. What was the problem?
And then
Plus, yeah.
go ahead.
And plus, we've seen Ronaldo score from crazy angles. I mean, the Villarreal game was a crazy angle. So I don't understand what better chances you need. So yeah, that's a humper below me.
My
And
my
Carlton
issue
is
my
saying,
issue my issue my issue isn't with the starting lineup, is who we can bring off the bench to make a difference. Because I've seen the last 3 games have all ended in draws, which means that there must be somebody that's not on the field who can make a difference. So who on the bench can we bring on to make a difference? That's just me. But President Chad, your lineup is spot on for me, right?
Yeah.
But
so having the likes of Ronaldo to come on instead of having Elanga on the bench to come on, don't you think that'll help?
sure, I just need a difference maker. That's all. If we can score 3 or 4 goals in the first half versus Brighton, then there'll be no need for a difference maker. But if we're going in to the 60th minute, 1-1, what are the chances are we going to score another goal? I don't know.
And Carlton is saying something that I was now going to raise after you spoke there, in terms of, you're saying the subs are coming on too late. In terms of difference makers, I'm not the biggest fan of Jesse Lingard, but Jesse Lingard is a difference maker when you look at what he does when he comes on the field. And I think if we need a goal, we need to bring Jesse Lingard on with more than 10 minutes to play. We need to give him at least 20 minutes if we want Jesse to do something significant. In my mind, if we bring in Jesse on to be a difference maker, we need to give Jesse time to do something. So I think that is also something Ralph needs to look at, in terms of Jesse Lingard specifically needs to be given more time. We need to make some early stuff.
You're absolutely right, because there was this one time where it happened to like 3 of our players. I know we subbed on, and these are all different matches. We subbed on Donny van de Beek in one match. We subbed on Lingard in another match, and we subbed on Cavani in another match, right? And I think it was like with 10 minutes to go, right? They hadn't touched the ball for the first 5 minutes. So that means literally they touched the ball with 5 minutes to go, right? So you're asking a player who's just come on, and we're not touching the ball within the first 5 minutes because the other team has the ball and are playing around with it, or we're giving away the ball stupidly, right? So, I mean, literally, whatever time we bring on that player, subtract 3 to 5 minutes, because that's how long they're going to have to make a difference.
All right, cool. So we're going to get into predictions. I'm going to ask everybody their predictions, but it is Valentine's Day, and we have a little some more entertainment in terms of questions to get into. Carlton is saying Ole would sub with 5 minutes left, Ralph with 10 minutes left. So we see an improvement, but we still need more than that. And
True.
I think one of the problems that we have with Manchester United is the bottom line is we lack quality. And a coach like Ralph tells himself, this team that I started with is the best 11. Most of the time, assuming that Ronaldo is on the pitch, right? Most of the time, Ralph is like, I'm starting with my best 11. If they can't do it for me, and he kind of gives them a little too long to try to do it. We've seen the game when Ralph put on 5 strikers, and we ended up getting a winning goal in that game, but he needs to do it a little earlier and give other people the opportunity to step up. So we have some questions. We're going to go with the senior man amongst us. First, we're going to go with Valentino Singh. So Valentino, some Valentine questions for you. What can you say is it important for you that your partner, in your case your wife, is that she supports a football team, that she's into sports?
Not really. I think you marry to someone, and eventually, you're gonna get certain things falling. She's gonna follow you in certain areas, and you're gonna follow her in certain areas. But the sporting aspect of my life, I would like that to be with my friends outside of my marriage and my wife and those things. Go line, have fun, and I'll come back home and meet you later, darling.
You like to all talk with the boys. I
Yeah.
hear that. We're gonna go with to the youngest person on the panel. CJ, what about you? When when you're looking for that special date, you're going out, does it matter to you whether that person is into sports and into football, or does it is not an issue?
It's really a non-issue because, as Valentino said, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I don't mind if I have somebody who likes sports and we go out together. I don't mind that. But I also don't mind she not being a sports person and I go out and have my fun with the guys. So it really doesn't really matter. I mean, it could be worse. She could like sports and like a real stripper team. Like she could like Arsenal or something.
Well,
like
that is exactly the next
Yeah,
question that I'm going to ask you. Let's assume.
Yeah.
Let's assume.
President Chad, let me just interrupt you to say that I have to lock up.
Sure. You go
6
ahead,
o'clock.
Valentino.
So it has been
Thanks for
a
part of the
pleasure
program.
being among the guys again, and let's hope we come out tomorrow with a 3 points. We
man.
really need it. Have a
For
great
sure.
evening, fellas, and remember to get a rose, take home to the lady, okay?
All right.
Nice.
No problem.
Yeah, well, I was now going to come to you with that question, Mr. Lover. And the question was simply this. Let's assume that, you're dating and things going real good. You're really attracted to this young lady, sparks flying. She's attracted to you. And then lo and behold, you find out that she is into sports. She is into football, but she likes a rival team. Like, say a Liverpool, for example. Is that a deal breaker for you? Is that like, nah, here we're going on. Don't call me, don't message me, just forget. Moving on.
Honestly, I could kind of overlook it. I have a cousin who's a Liverpool fan, so I'll get pong already.
Yeah, but a cousin and a girlfriend is two different things,
I know, but
Let me ask you a question. I want you to envision, right?
Mhm.
Envision you home on a Saturday watching sports, and your team lose,
Yeah.
and you get your phone blowing up, and it's your girlfriend messaging you saying, well, I got legs, and getting you rabs because her team, let's say she supports Chelsea or something, win their game. I mean, them is kind of things that cause problems.
Honestly, I am a wicked man. Because personally, I would tell her it's things like this that cause infidelity. I don't know.
Big Phil, is that a game changer for you? if you love it, supports a rival club.
Wow.
It's not a deal breaker, but she can't be a diehard fan because there's a difference between a fan and a diehard fan. Like diehard Man City and diehard Liverpool fans hate Manchester United.
To be fair, it's have a Liverpool fan I've seen, I would risk it all for, but that is either here or there. That's either here or there. I get what you're saying.
I want to be a little risque. So you all try to behave because others be risky, but you all behave. It does make it seem worse than it really is, right?
What?
So I want to ask Mr. Lover, right? You get through it, Miss Risk It All, right? You know she's a Liverpool fan, you get through. And on that special things going really well. Really, really well. And then closer to come off and you see Liverpool on the way. What are you going to do?
That coming off as well too.
Yeah. I get it. Chad, I go for 3 points either way, I go for 3 points either way, It don't really matter. That girl can back jabble too. I good.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. So, Mr. Provocateur, talk to me. Is does it matter who your partner supports, assuming that they're into sports?
It does.
For you, or it don't really matter?
No, it does. You know why? Because not to sound, sexist, right? Or anything like that, right? But girls are not really into sports. But if you find a girl, right, and you meet her, and she's, let's say she is a Real fan or a Barca fan. Do you know why she is a Barca fan? Because her ex-boyfriend was a Barca fan.
I would like to disagree with that.
Right.
Not all the
Nope.
time. It's
Fact.
not all because
If it's not, no, listen.
I know, Robert. I can't see that.
You know, it is her ex-boyfriend was a
No,
Barca man.
Was
The ex-boyfriend who she still
it
talks
may
to
not have been
on
it
the
may not
low.
have been the ex, but it
might
may
be
have been the boy that she liked the most in the exes.
Right.
And what you're saying is true. I know a lot of young ladies who started getting involved in sports and started, really doing stuff as far as really supporting a club or even wearing sports paraphernalia because of a boyfriend, right? Whether present or past.
Now,
right?
it have the other
Now, there are
side.
girls who just love sports.
Yes,
and
and I
they
say
love
no.
sports regardless.
Yeah.
But the truth is, that is not the majority of women out there.
No, because it's either it's an ex-boyfriend, or let's just say she grew up in a family of mostly brothers. Like if all the brothers support this team, then she will back that team because it's a family. Now, again, if her family are Barca supporters and she's a Barca supporter, or worse, it an Arsenal supporter, CG, turn around, go the next way, because she more than likely is suicidal, and she will take you with her, right,
bro?
So understand. No, it's not. No, it's not. You know why?
I actually disagree.
Arsenal fans.
I disagree. If she's an Arsenal fan, CJ, you get through. You can make mistake upon mistake, and she will never leave you.
But
Arsenal supporters are the most faithful.
Yes.
When it comes to men, I just always say all Arsenal men I know could take horn, and most of them does get horn. But
no, man.
Right?
No,
I'm telling you.
No.
Nobody could take that kind of abuse. And let me tell you something. Newcastle got relegated twice in the last 10 years. And I have more respect for men who support Newcastle than men who support Arsenal. That is just the reality of it. Arsenal men just take too much abuse for it. Too much.
Yeah, too much. But as I said before, right? She will not leave. She won't leave you. You will find her in the corner watching you on a slide, right? She will be online on a video, making videos about you. Right?
This is a funny story, right? Because I had an ex, right? And she knew I used to watch football every single weekend. And that's one thing I outlined when we were dating. When it comes to the weekends, football is me from this time to this time, and any time is for you afterwards, right? And she was a bit upset about that, right? And she spitefully started supporting Liverpool.
Oh no!
Whenever Man United lose, I'm getting a text from her. Boy, the amount of blocks I gave her. Oh my God! Don't get me wrong. During the time I was still in love with her, right? But she's spitefully. But don't get me wrong. I got back at her because she was from India, right? And whenever the Indian cricket team lose, because she's a big cricket fan, whenever the Indian cricket team lose, I would text her at 3:00 in the morning. I would text her the score. I would text her who got bowled out. And I said we even. And she stopped texting me about Manchester United because I know she's
but I think
he didn't cheat though.
No,
he didn't cheat.
Cricket to me is more of an everyone sport. Like to me, like you find more men and women into cricket a lot more.
Yeah,
cricket is a much more easier game to get.
Here's the thing, Robert. When somebody texts me Man United lose or send me these memes, I would get a little bit upset. Robert, I am numb to West Indies cricket team losing. I got people know who just tell me West Indies lose, Big Phil. Ha ha ha. And I'm like, ha ha ha. Okay, cool.
I don't care.
It's true. Yeah, that time. It had a time a girl say ha ha ha. United lose that I wanted to say, ha ha ha, you getting cheated on, but I was like, nah. I deleted it. I deleted it. I didn't tell
You got, you
you.
got, you got to press the back. You got to press the backspace.
No, because it was like, oh, I can't go that far cheating.
You got to press the backspace, boy.
It's like, nah, I can't. We can't do
Oh
it.
my God, I'm
Clip
not
this for me,
seeing.
please. Clip this and the Liverpool shoot shot for me, please.
You got to press the backspace, boy.
Bro wouldn't believe that. I was like, she was like, oh, they can't defend it. I was like, you can't defend your man too. But yeah.
You know,
Hey,
that's something a lot of people need to do. You need to think about it before you press send.
hey, you must
You know what I mean?
boy.
It's okay to write it, you know.
I
You gotta
almost
think
died.
about it before you press send.
I almost
So,
died.
guys, you know, what score line we looking at tomorrow, please, God? As we talked earlier in the program about Brighton conceding in all of their last 6 games, but also scoring, you know, in all of their last 6 games. So, including against Chelsea, including against Spurs. All right. So,
The
even
game is at the
games they lost.
game is at Amex Stadium or at Old Trafford?
The game is at Old Trafford. So my question is simply this: what is your prediction? Carlton made a statement that I wanted to touch on. And he says he has come to the conclusion that the guys, in terms of the players, don't listen. Ralph complained about that after the Burnley game. They don't keep the shape in the second half. And I think that is also what Phil was talking about when he says it doesn't really matter who starts.
Correct.
Because it's a matter of what are the guys on the field going to do.
Correct.
And I would say this: Ralph would come out openly and complain or talk about what is not being done on the pitch. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer never used to talk about the players in a bad way at all, right? He used to take all the crap on himself. However, we know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer used to complain about this because we hear Ole Gunnar Solskjaer talking about moving the ball faster. We hear Ole Gunnar Solskjaer talking about, you know, certain things, and then when we look at the football, we don't see it. So if the manager is saying something and then we're not seeing it on the pitch, you have to start wondering, well, is it that the manager just saying that for the camera and he's not telling the players that, or is it that the players are not executing what the manager is saying? And I think that is kind of concerning and worrying to me where Manchester United is concerned. So, all right, guys, let's get some predictions. People in the comments as well, put in your predictions. Let's start with you, CJ. What's your prediction? What's your score for tomorrow? Please go.
I would like to see 3-1, but I feel like it's gonna be our next 1-1.
Our next 1-1.
I called 2-2.
So we have 2 draws. Robert, what say you?
Well, I do have an announcement. My divorce finally came true, right? From this team. Right? It came through today. Today I got my divorce. It came up on my phone. I have divorced this team. So whatever happens tomorrow, I'll be happy. Because I'm divorced from this team. I'm divorced from this team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one thing to say to you, Robert.
Lie again. Lie.
Facts.
You understand? Because let Manchester United lose tomorrow, you will be pissing mad, you'll be vexed, you ain't gonna be responding to nobody's message.
No.
We know that is not true.
Oh God. No, but I think it'll be a win.
You think we win?
Yeah, I think because of the previous 2 games, and I think we are just at a point now where kind of like how Ole used to be, we are right now at the precipice, and the guys will come somehow go and just pull it back.
True.
Yeah. And then they'll go online and go on WhatsApp and be like, hey, look at us. We're so wonderful. We're so beautiful. Wow. Right?
Let me just say, I have Bruno Fernandes as my captain in fantasy this week. I need Bruno to give me some goals. Not just assists, some goals. I have David De Gea in goal. I need a clean sheet. So
Right.
I am looking for a 2-0 for Manchester United against Burnley tomorrow. Please go.
Well,
It's time.
okay.
It's
You-
time that we do.
You won.
It's time that we break this curse
You
that
won
the hair is
miracles.
talking about.
You want
Hey.
miracles, boy.
I want to tire Banks at such an age, but I ain't get it. But hey, that's a you and me. You and me, no. That's a you and me.
Oh,
That's a you and me, no. I know
Hey,
saying,
boy.
no.
The man bring back memories there, boy. Tyra Banks used to be in everybody's brain at some point in time. Once upon a time. So that's about it in terms of our predictions, in terms of how people enjoy the program today. You know, at the United Hour, we like to have a little fun, keep it a little light, especially when the team going through some challenges. We can't be here depressed all the time. So we are hoping we're going to be here tomorrow for the breakdown, 6:30. 6:30, tune in for the breakdown. We're going to be discussing everything that went down in the game. And let's hope tomorrow, please God, we are, celebrating that we're in good spirits because we got 3 points and dismantled Burnley. Anybody have anything to say before we look to head out?
If you want something to say, you can tell a girl that my head and Harry Maguire head is the same thing. Big.
Why? Why?
I mean,
I think with that one, Red Devil, we don't die, we multiply. Goodbye, everybody.
hey, if you appreciate what we're doing here at the United Hour, please like, please subscribe, and let's grow this community.